Hi there, and welcome to momsden. My name is Ivona, and today I'm actually doing something that many of you have previously requested after I posted my Affliction Warlock series for rotation, talents, legendaries, and stuff like that. And basically, some of you have noticed that I have this handy little add-on called WeakAuras, and you can see it pretty much here. Basically, it serves for tracking your cooldowns, your dots, and stuff like that. And you have asked me how I actually have my own WeakAuras set up. So today I'm going to show you that. And also, for those of you who are here for the first time, if you're interested in these cute little short WoW guides that can just help you save a bunch of time in WoW, catch a cool mount, learn how to play your class or your spec better, yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. So first of all, the first thing you want to do is basically obviously download the WeakAuras, and this is something you want to do through your add-on manager. This can be either Twitch or Curse or whatever it is that you may be using. If you're downloading it manually, you can do it that way as well, but make sure it is updated for the current expansion, which in this case it is Shadowlands. So I'm going to be showing you two things today. First of all, how to set up these dot trackers, which in my case is what I'm using. I need it for Haunt, for Agony, for Corruption, and for Unstable Affliction. Before we start, and before I mention anything when it comes to Corruption, make sure you've checked whether or not you have the absolute corruption talent set, because this is a passive talent that says corruption is now permanent and deals 15% increased damage. I don't have this talent, so that means that I actually do have a dot tracker for corruption. For those of you who have the absolute corruption talent picked, you're not really gonna need this one, so you don't have to worry about it too much, because essentially it's not gonna work because it is not a dot that ticks out. It is just a permanent thing on your Affliction Warlock, basically a debuff that you're applying to to just be there to stay, so you don't have to worry about it. Without further ado, we're just going to start here, and I'm going to first create a new aura, so an aura like this. Basically, it's going to be this dot tracker, and you can just pretty much do the same thing, or you can just simply click on the From Template section, and what's gonna open is this thing. And what you want to do for tracking your dots is pick this progress bar. So it shows a progress bar with name, timer, and icon, and you can choose whether or not it's going to be horizontal, vertical, whatever. I choose horizontal ones because it's a lot easier for me. So we're gonna make a test, basically a tracker, because I don't really need any other ones, but you may need it. I'm just going to create another Agony just to show you. This is where you can choose like how you want it shown, and you can just have it pretty much to always show. I choose always show because that's just the way I do things. And here you can type in the name. Let's call it, I don't know, Test Agony, because this is how I'm gonna know I'm gonna delete it later. So basically here you can choose the bar color. I tend to choose these really aggressive ones, but you can pretty much choose whichever one, and you can choose like how much you actually want it. Basically, if you want it to be transparent or not. Let's just pick a random one. It doesn't really matter. What's important here, this orientation thing, this is what's important. So do you want the debuff to be ticking from right to left, or from left to right, so or even bottom to top, top to bottom, whatever? I think the most obvious way is to just leave it at right to left, because that's kind of how you see things ticking. This is what I choose. And if you were to choose left to right, let me just show you what it looks like. So basically it would look like this. Your debuff is ticking and it's going towards the right, and it just looks really weird. It's not really for me, and I bet it's not for you either. So, just stick to right to left. Let me actually just move this here so you can see it the whole time. Okay, there we go. As we're messing with the progress, as you can see, this is the bar color, and you can even choose the background color to be something different, you know, whether or not you want it to be transparent, that's up to you. This way, it's basically not transparent, and as you're going towards the minus, you can just make it completely disappear, and this is what I usually choose for my settings. And I choose like reddish color for Agony. And basically once the add-on is fully set up, once you've applied the dot, this is the way it's gonna look like. Basically, bar alpha is something I don't really mess around with, but it is something that can help you with, setting up your transparency. I just have it at 100%. This is where you can set up your position. You can just like change the width and the height through this, and this is what I use, but I don't advise messing with this too much unless you want it to be really thin. I think the standard size is actually okay, and here is where you can just mess around with where you want it on screen. If you're good with these X and Y things, you can do that, but most of the time you're just going to be able to grab it and just position it where you want to. Basically, if you have more of these trackers set up, you kind of just want to mess around with it a little bit and just figure out where you want it to be in comparison to those. As you can see, you can do everything with a mouse click. You don't have to worry about these numbers too much. If you're more of a, I'm gonna touch it and I'm gonna set it up myself kind of person, you can do it that way. Most of these other settings I don't really mess with. There's a way to basically just, mess with the font and basically the size of the letters. And the numbers, I usually just keep these on default, so you can just do the same thing. And the color, I prefer it being white because I usually use colors for the actual bar, and white is just always present on my very strong colors that I use for these bars. So basically that is pretty much it. There is not much to it. Yeah, you can actually choose to have the icon shown, and this is also what I do. And I position it on the left side. So you want it here so you can actually see like what the debuff is. Let me go outside and actually find a creature. Okay, so there's this cute little butterfly who has no idea what's going on. And as you can see, this test agony thing is actually here. And as we're applying the dots, you can also see it ticking just the way the original agony bar was. And that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna remove it because it's going to bother me if I don't. So yeah, I can also toggle the visibility. So I can hide it, or I can, I can have it show, but I will just delete it right now. This is how you delete it. Basically, if you don't like what you have, if you want to start over, you can just, delete your bar. If you want these icons, the way I have the summon dark layer or whatever, this is what you're gonna do. And I'm actually going to create one for myself because I need one. I realized that I do need the tracker for the cooldown for Dark Souls Misery because I started using it. And we're just gonna go ahead and create a new icon. You can go ahead and create one from the template as well if you want to, just the way we did with the progress bars. So you click on the icon, there's like different sizes, default, tiny, small. I usually pick small, like 32 times 32. I usually reduce it to 30. So there's like debuffs, there's abilities. You can choose from plenty of your, not just Affliction Warlock, but your Warlock abilities anyway. And here's the Dark Soul Misery. So I'm gonna have it, tracking. I'm not going to highlight it because I don't really like the highlighted. So basically, I do want to have it at 30 times 30. So this is the size of the icon. Let me just see where it is. Okay, so the icon is actually around here, and now what we want to do is, well, we don't really want to do that much. What I just want to have is, I want to show you, like here, you can actually have it glowing if you prefer something like this. I don't really mess with these settings way too much. I usually just keep them the way they are. So basically, I'm just going to put it here next to my other ones, and I think once I exit, once I exit, and basically once I pop my cooldown, it's going to show like the minutes when the next cooldown is going to be available, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so this is pretty much the setup for both of these. For progress bars that you cannot currently see because we're currently not fighting anyone. Basically, if you follow this guide, you're going to be able to learn all of these things yourself, but in case you want to use my own settings, what you can do is basically just copy the string that I'm going to provide for you in the description. So this is another thing that you can do, and this is why WeakAuras is super handy. So basically, you can click here on import. And what's going to happen is this window is going to open. It says like paste text below. And what you're going to paste here is the string that you find in the description, which is basically the full setup for my own pretty much WeakAuras setup, the one you just had the opportunity to see. So if you're into this kind of thing, if you don't want to change anything, if you just like my own stuff, then you can do that. If you want me to, I can do next series of guides for the rest of my setup. So for example, why my name and basically my icon and my health bar and everything is here and not over there, and basically a bunch of other add-ons that I use. If you want to see that kind of thing, make sure to let me know in the comments. If this is something that you like, if this is something you find helpful, make sure to leave me a like as well. And if you like my stuff, then you can also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Stay safe and bye bye.